Hi, this is weekly task 14, the end of the semester assignment. Just talking and thinking about how my clinical practice has been influenced by this class, or what I have learned in this class about athletic training and our practices. So, when I first looked at this lesson or assignment description, I went back and looked at the domains of athletic training. Um, I knew all of them, but when I think back to where I was in August, um, I think I thought of athletic training as, you know, evaluation, diagnosis, treatment, and rehabilitation, emergency care. And the two sections of our domains that I was not comfortable with and haven't practiced before, especially as a just new clinician coming out, um, would be injury and illness prevention and um, professional health and well-being of the patients. So a lot of time in my undergrad was spent learning evaluations, diagnoses, treatment plans, rehabilitations, and I think the one part that I missed out on, or didn't get to learn as much then as I did this semester, is definitely injury prevention. I have never implemented any kind of injury prevention plan, and going through the first 3 weeks of this semester, learning the TRIP model, the disablement model, and just going through all the injury prevention things that can be done, and just talking to my classmates, it really opened my eyes up to, this is the one thing that sets us apart from other health professionals, is that we are here for injury prevention and to get our athletes strong enough. So this class has definitely helped prepare me for now to start implementing injury prevention plans. Especially I think about my soccer girls, their off season. I had a lot of ankle injuries, so this has prepared me to be able to implement those now. I'm also just thinking about the holistic approach. I think I had the tendency before to, I always have been done good, one-on-one with patients and building those connections. But once, I guess, looking at their injury, I would stay connected to that joint and try to figure out what's wrong there. And with the lessons we have done, like making and looking at the whole connect chain and what could possibly be causing an effect, and just to learn how to take a step back and look at the bigger picture and not just the injury in that self. So I think I have learned to grow in that aspect and to think about things not just their limitations at whatever sport they're dealing with, but in school, at home. I think Lacey, and we'll end this, class we've learned, but I have always thought of the return to play protocol for concussions and not the return to school protocol. And so just opening my eyes to different ways of looking at the whole entire person has changed my way of approaching situations and talking to parents and making sure they fully understand, what limitations their kids have and how I need to go, not just tell the kid, but if I need to talk to the parent, then I need to talk to the parent and make sure they understand what is going on with their kid, so they can feel comfortable going to me and that the kid is having the best possible care. Another thing I like to learn, or I guess this semester taught me, is about the physical performance tests. So I had read articles and I have looked at triple hop for distance and just a bunch of those tests before, but I have never seen them done until DAT weekend. And that next week at clinicals, I was having a girl who was fighting me and saying, I'm functional enough to play, why am I not playing? And I had her try to get to 80% of the triple hop distance from her good foot to her injured foot, and she couldn't do it. And I told her, I was like, look, if you cannot jump on your foot 3 times, how are you supposed to be doing rebounds and layups and jump cuts? And so just having that, not just, I guess, me saying it, but showing her um, her disadvantage, like what limitations she does have, really helped her realize how, she wasn't fully ready to play. So I think this whole class has taught me better care, just evidence-based practice for my care, and it's been exactly what I needed as a new clinician going into, or just learning new things constantly has helped me become more confident in my decision making, making sure that I'm giving my patients what they need. Another thing I really enjoyed in this class was, lost my train of thought. Making those algorithms, that's what I liked. I know people think it's cookie cutter, but I enjoy that. I think that why are we not using that to just help us, guide us through our decision making and making sure that we are providing the best care possible. So I enjoyed that. I also liked learning, and I would like to actually implement those into and to help me making my clinical diagnosis. I used how we did the rules, the MCL rules, and the Ottawa ankle rules, and we learned about those. I constantly refer back to them just to give me a sense of making sure I'm doing this correctly and giving my patients, if I think that they need an x-ray, then I know that I'm sending them on the evidence that has been found in literature. So I have enjoyed that also. I think as a prevention standpoint, I haven't implemented that yet, but that is my goal for this Christmas break, is to come up with or find trends in the injuries that I have recorded and figure out what I need to be doing for that. And then also for my return to play, I have definitely learned to think beyond the sport and to think about, do I need to talk to a teacher or the athletic director about, these kids in class, or have my doctor talk to him. So this class has been very helpful. It's definitely helped me reflect on my clinical skills and just realize that you can continuously always be learning new ways and go through with the evidence and figure out the why to what you're doing, because I don't think I knew that. Well, I did not know that, but thinking about why I'm doing this has helped me better my practice. So